So right now is actually like a very pivotal and very key time for a bunch of the different Armory items. So obviously with the new 7-day market restrictions, the fact that people can't even sell their items instantly, the first 7 days of the Armory update, people were redeeming their items not knowing what was the most profitable, not knowing what the best ways to redeem your stars were, what the worst ways to redeem your stars were, and things like that. But as time has gone on, obviously, especially now that we are now that we're more than 14 days out from the release of the Armory update, we are now getting a wave of items and a wave of stars being created that were actually redeemed after people started to know what the best ways to redeem your stars were, what the most valuable items were, what the good and the bad and the ugly and all that good stuff was. So this is a key time to actually see where the markets are going to go and what is the actual best way to redeem your stars. So I am Jeremy, a CS2 investor, collector, and cash trader. In this video today, we're going to be talking about what it looks like the best ways to redeem your Armory passes are, and how you guys can hopefully make some money and actually profit with these things. Of course, first, just want to mention my cash trading business. If you guys are looking to sell any of your CS2 items, turn them into cold hard cash, crypto, or any other payment method, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. We're buying pretty much anything and everything for the right price. Knives, gloves, stickers, cases, capsules, keys, whatever you guys have. I've just bought some charms today. Got a couple nice deals done for some charms. Whatever you guys might have, we can get a deal done for you. Help you cash out safely, effectively, efficiently, and you're helping support me, my channel, my content. With that being said, let's get right into this today. So these are the best and worst ways to redeem these passes, at least as of now. I'm recording this on October 20th. But again, this is a big time. Over the past couple days, we have now seen items hitting the market that were redeemed because of the best ways to redeem your things and the best actually based off real price information, which is not what we saw happening in the first week. That time period between like day 7 and day 14, we still weren't necessarily seeing items that were created with intention. Now we are. It's hard to explain, but if you guys understand what I'm saying, this is a very, very key time. And so far, what we're seeing right now is still, of course, the Desert Eagle heat treated. Right now, we're on csroi.com, of course. Also, if I have not mentioned that yet, but a cool place to check out ROIs of a bunch of everything, collections, gallery stuff, and cases and all that good stuff. Really, really awesome tool. Definitely love the site. But the Desert Eagle Heat Treater remains the worst way to redeem your stars. Again, this thing is expensive, $10, 25 stars, and right now the unboxing ROI is 46%. The non-good patterns or the non-desirable patterns for this thing look absolutely terrible. And yes, you can get some blue gems, but even the blue gems are not like true blue gems. They're not rare. They're not hard to come by. People redeem these things in insane quantities early on, and they're still even getting them now because it's fun to try to go for blue gems and the very, very attractive patterns. But again, 46% ROI, so you're just burning money. You're literally losing over half your money as soon as you redeem this thing, and you only have a 3% chance of actually profiting. So yes, you can get one of those blue gems and you might profit, but it's pretty unlikely. And even the ceiling is not that high based off the ROI. Even the risk to get something crazy is not even that good. So yeah, stop going for the Desert Eagle heat treated. Stay away from that. Next, we get into the Sport and Field collection. Again, obviously this was maybe the collection that everyone was the most hyped for coming into this because of that M4A or the M4A1S fade. I always want to call it the M4A4 fade for some reason, but the M4A1S fade, which we've seen prices kind of rebound for and doing a little bit better. Looks like the average prices on Steam of an M4A1S fade is $609, but it's still a decent stuff. I think the Glock 18 Axia is actually pretty cool, but obviously having a Galil in that pink tier isn't necessarily the best. And the rest of the skins really aren't all that interesting to many people. Yes, you have the fade, but even with that, people are redeeming this in the biggest number, so it's kind of hurting that ROI and that profitability. Again, your profit percentage isn't good, your ROI isn't good, and this is just Steam. So if you try to go on third-party marketplaces, you'll probably even be losing money on this a lot of the time. So that's not necessarily the best. If you do want to go for skins, if you are into that skins type of gambling, the graphic design collection and the Overpass 2024 collection seem to be your best bet. Overpass collection, obviously we have the AK-47B, the monster, not necessarily the best of the reds because the M4A1S fade is still more expensive, but this is a very, very cool skin. It's a very cool item. It's doing quite well. But then the pinks are pretty good as well. People do like this op. People do like this Zeus. The Dragon Snore is holding up pretty decently. There's some cool stuff in here. There's some good ways to profit. Overall, this is probably just a better collection than the Sport Sport and Field collection, even though it doesn't have the fade in it. But the thing you have to watch out for the Overpass collection is obviously if the Overpass map ever rotates back into the active duty pool, the fact that we could start getting souvenir skins of these, that could definitely drive the price down. So for me, not only just based on the unboxing ROI, but also the fact that this thing, won't end up in souvenir collections or anything like that, and isn't being as opened as good as or as much as Sport and Field collection. If you were gonna open skins, if you want to roll for skins, if that is your thing, the graphic design collection seems like the way to go. I'm not the biggest fan of the CMYK. I think it was maybe overhated, but I don't necessarily love it. You also have the Desert Eagle Starcade in here, and some other pretty cool items as well. Again, you have an AK kind of in the lower tier as well. But yeah, this thing seems like it's had the highest unboxing ROI for quite some time now. I get it if you want to try and go for that M4A1S fade, I understand. But just on a straight ROI perspective, graphic design seems to be the best. But if you want to be actually trying to profit and go for the max, it doesn't even seem like obviously the guns should be, or the collection should necessarily be where you're trying to go, because these items are going to keep getting created. I think everyone kind of assumes the prices will still keep going down. This ROI is going to drop lower and lower. I don't know if that's actually the case. That's kind of what the community thinks, but it's actually possible that could not happen. Yes, more of these items are going to be created over time, but if the game continues to grow, and also it's hard for these items to be created, especially as the ROI comes down and people have less incentive to actually create them, because again, we're only creating these from actually playing the game. And are people really just going to keep buying Armory passes over and over and over for the next 3 months, 6 months, whatever? The biggest thing for all of this is going to be how long are these specific items going to be in the Armory, which we don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I would overall be staying away from the collections. The next thing is the I believe I have this pulled up maybe right here. No, I don't know where I have it pulled up. Right here, the gallery case. Again, you can redeem this for 80 cents, and right now on Steam it's selling for $1.11. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to be after Steam fees, of course, but the gallery case is still a decent redemption. It is still a profitable redemption. This is a way to get a pretty good item that should, in theory, or at least I do think, hold up in the long term as an overall good investment. Seems like a good way to be redeeming these things. It's not the most sexy redemption or anything like that, but if you want to open cases, redeeming for the gallery case seems like a decent way to go for that. You can get them for 80 cents rather than $1.11, and it seems like the gallery cases are still decently profitable to open too, if I do believe. We have the gallery case at a 92% unboxing ROI, and again, that's if you're paying $1.12 for them. So if you bump that down to 80 cents, you could really be redeeming gallery cases and then potentially opening them up profitably as well. That actually seems kind of interesting. But yeah, but then obviously we get into the two big guns from this whole thing. This is what we've been talking about, but I know people were really worried. Hey, once people know that charms and stickers are so good, are we going to see ROIs collapse? Are we going to see prices go down because that demand is slowly going to be being met by big supply from people actually redeeming them, all their Armory stuff? And the fact of the matter is, it seems like so far, no, that is not the case. Now, obviously, we still have, again, however long these items are going to be in the Armory, but right now, stickers and charms are the massive winners. These are the best ways to redeem your Armory passes. These are the ways you can actually be making money. So right now, it actually seems like not even a bad decision to still be buying Armory passes, especially if you were planning on playing the game anyway. But even if you're not necessarily playing the game, if you want to try and grind to build up some balance on some of your accounts or just make some money, or you kind of like the game, or you want to try and make some money off playing the game or whatever, these seem like decent ways. Because for these things, you have a 25% chance of profiting with the character craft collection. You have a 36% chance of profiting with the elemental. You have a 33% chance of profiting with the missing link, and you have a 20% chance of profiting from the small arms. But the ROIs on all of these things are insane. The worst of these being that character craft sticker collection. You have a 50%. You're making 50% of your money, 150% ROI, and then all the other ones still are so good. Now, obviously, the differentiation between them is that with especially the charms, you really need to hit some of those good patterns. So you really need to make sure you know what the good and bad patterns are. You need to make sure you know what the prices of your items are. But the other thing for these stickers is that these are the only fully consumable items from the Armory stuff we have going on. Obviously, you have the gallery case as well, which is why I think in the long-term gallery case stuff could be really good. You have items in the collection for trade-ups and stuff like that, but charms are not consumable. The Desert Eagles, they're not going anywhere. We have a lot of these red items in the collections. They're not going anywhere. Stickers, they're consumable. These prices, the supplies will actually eventually go down. So some of these stickers, I do think on the very, very cheap end, could actually end up being very valuable. Some of the things that could end up, I think, being the best investments from this could be stuff like the Hydro Wave, the Scorch Loop Reverse, the Scorch Loop, the Winding Scorch, things like that are things I could be looking at eventually down the line as investments, especially if their prices get down low enough and they continue to drop drop from here. But right now, these things do actually seem like pretty good ways to redeem everything. Obviously, there's a bunch of insane charms. You have the semi-precious charm where you can get some really cool patterns. You have the knives that are going to be very, very valuable. These things are $68 and $50. You have a 1 in 156 chance to get something like that. So yeah, right now the best way to redeem your stars still are going to be charms and stickers. Obviously, the good thing about charms as well is that they do cost 3 stars. So I know people are saying, oh, charms are about to get flooded, the supplies are about to get flooded, prices are about to crash. But so far, what we've seen so far is that people are not playing the game enough. People are not redeeming their stars for these items enough to actually to meet the demand for the supplies out there. Now, again, this could change in the coming months, but for right now, I still think it's very safe to say that within the next 7 days, these ROIs aren't going to go to unprofitable. I do think these 4 methods will still be profitable ways to redeem those stars for at least the next week or 2 or whatever. So I think you can still feel pretty safe doing that, and the ROIs are looking pretty good right now. So you're actually making some decent money from playing the game. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully, catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.